Hi, welcome back to Unique Minds of the Okanagan. I'm Robb and we're on location in Penticton with Joel Hobin, aka Joe Swift.
What's up, everyone?
Legendary Canadian freestyle and hip hop artist. How are you doing, brother?
I'm always good, Rob. Nice to see you again.
Thanks for having me, and let's hop right into it with who you are, where you're from, and how you got into hip hop.
Well, my name's Joel Hobin. From Halifax, Nova Scotia originally. Been in hip hop my whole life, really. Wrote my first rap when I was like 12 or 13, I guess. Surrounded by other influential artists. It was a tough upbringing. I got picked on, but it forced me to step outside of my comfort zone. You know, I grew up in an area that was not predominantly white, so that was a benefit to me. Also traveled across Canada, just trying to make friends and get in the hip hop scene and just keep spreading the love. That's my main goal with music as I progress in life, especially the older I get.
You mentioned the East Coast. Growing up in a, there was definitely two scenes in the East Coast in the beginning of the hip hop era.
Yeah.
On the East Coast, there was definitely battles.
Oh yeah.
How did that kind of shape to what you create now? Because you do battle rap.
Yeah.
Mainly.
I do mainly in the last 10 years or so anyways. Before that, I was basically freestyle, predominantly freestyle. Had a few songs I was working with. Was in a group called the River City Kings in New Brunswick. But back to Nova Scotia, we were surrounded by metalheads and skateboarders and a lot of different realms on both sides of music, and it always struck me as I was very interested in all forms of music, even though everyone around me only liked hip hop and rap. There was a lot of gangster stuff back then. I decided to listen to like Metallica and like other groups like that, which also I believe that might have opened up my insight into other genres of music. Traveling across Canada though, also just not being from the East Coast, because I spent a lot of time traveling and then making it out here for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I really appreciate every single person I've met along the way for that aspect. Music is so many different languages, so many different levels, as you know, right? I just think that the East Coast inspired me more because of the mellow beats and the less gangster way they take approach to it, I think.
You grew up with, surprisingly, meeting a lot of really big artists who are huge now.
Yeah.
And well known for their craft.
Definitely did, yeah. Quake Matthews is one of my favorite East Coast artists, to be honest with you. Very, very like, he's doing lots of things now. He does like food reviews and stuff like that, but he was one of my favorites growing up.
It's crazy to think he's been around for a while, and he just started to get big.
I'd say he's been around for 30 plus years as well, 30 years. Buck 65 also is like another very like,
that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, he used to be called Stinkin' Rich. His name's Richard. And that was so long, and he's got to be 55 or older. Like, that guy's been in the East Coast hip hop scene for a long time. Scratch Bastard is also another artist who's doing things like really well lately, and super talented people. I am encompassed by hip hop. That's my thing. Like, I really love and appreciate it. That the people that I meet are always so humble too.
Yeah.
I even helped Maestro Fresh West move into a place in Toronto when I was living in Toronto. That was pretty brief encounter, but pretty awesome as well. Like, that's how far back it goes for me though. Just the maybe not knowing exclusively those people, but like having interactions with them.
Yeah.
Really enlightened me to want to push further. The few struggles that I might have gone through that held me back, I don't look at them as problems. I look at them as like, I don't know, like lily pads on the pond that got me here to progress and want to do better and do more nowadays.
You have one of the most unique gifts that I've ever seen as a hip hop artist. And you seem to be able to just craft it. Almost your freestyles are as good as your written. Sometimes, if not better.
And I appreciate that because it's funny because I'm actually very like self-aware and writing things sometimes with my slight OCD that I have and like all those things. I always want to scrap it. I always want to scrap it. When I freestyle, it's a thing where you're like, you can't scrap it, especially if it's recorded. And I've been freestyling since so long ago that it was always on like a digital recorder. I had this Sony digital recorder, and me and my buddy Steve, we were in a group called Guerrilla Militants, and that's all we used to do was like for hours and hours and hours. I also had a few addictions back then that encouraged those hours and hours and hours, right? But the freestyle aspect of it for me is being able to be so open and honest, not only with yourself, but with the others around you and reading a room, that it always became my livelihood and what I enjoyed doing the most. And there was a lot of underground scenes, especially when I started traveling across Canada. You go to like freestyle ciphers and competitions, and like you pay $20 to get in, and then you win a couple hundred measly dollars at the end of it. But especially when I first went to Alberta, the Block Productions and my homie Distinct, Stefan, I actually beat him in a freestyle battle, and he's one of my favorite MCs from out this way too, like out west here. It's just that kind of interaction with people, and he wasn't mad. He was just like, how'd you do it? And I was like, I didn't practice, I didn't care. I cared, I just didn't. You have to let that
almost your ego die.
Yeah, you have to. You can't think about what you're saying, because that buggers you up. Like, same with writing for me. Like, I do have a hard time writing, and the freestyle aspect of it just it makes you open up more, I think. And especially if you can read a beat or like know timing and stuff like that, you should be able to format your words properly so that you can freestyle and make it better than your writtens most of the time. I'm definitely no pro, but it's what I love and I feel good doing it. I think that's my key thing.
You and I were talking, I think it was on Saturday or last week when you came over and we were recording, and you were speaking about how Junk was super young when you met him, and he was like, you used to call him like the scientist.
Oh,
because their skill set was so like high and their vocabulary, and it's like, that's kind of where you need to be if you want to progress and be an artist. You have to have that skill set.
I remember Ian being like in a group called Carpe Diem. Shoot, I think the other guy might have been Hungry, but like Junk stood out to me though, to the point where I still remembered him when I seen him as Junk, because I've gone through a bit of struggles with my memory in the past years. Like I did suffer from a stroke or whatever, but those specific things still stood out to me. And I do remember, like, I remember being like, yo, these guys are like walking dictionaries. Like, they must just, all they do is read a thesaurus or a dictionary, and they like, I didn't know if they were growing in a lab somewhere, or
that's okay.
In a lab somewhere or whatever. Like, they were just so out of this world. And now Junk is like one of the best freestylers too. Never mind the best writers or the best hip hop artists going, and he's been doing it forever too.
Yeah. What's been like a key point that was made you want to keep doing hip hop? Like, was there a specific performance that had been like, this is the moment that I want to do this forever? Or a battle, or?
No. It was before that. It was actually when we were working together many years ago, and you sparked my interest again. Because before that, it was nothing really set in stone for me. I was in a group called the River City Kings with Jody O'Shea. His name used to be the Nemesis Attraction. Fact and Monarch, all these guys from New Brunswick and stuff when I first began traveling across. Because I also just wanted to travel and meet new people and new like fans, so to say, but I was too young to know any of the the marketing things that are so readily available nowadays, like YouTube and
anything,
just any social media. Like, people are getting famous for doing nothing, in my opinion, sometimes. And then there's some people whose creative side gets, shadowed because of that, and they don't know how to do that part. My main thing that wanted to get me back into it is, our Lost Children of God endeavor. I also worked with my friend Vincent. That really inspired me as well, because I was helping him out a bit along the way, because he wanted to become something, and he had the effort and the drive. He's still doing his thing too. He's in the battle scene too. But for me, the main key factor was us performing when we went through, and our last show, I remember James Hughes at the Mule in Penticton. I think I freestyled for about 40 minutes or something.
It was insane.
And
it was like an entire
everybody,
set of freestyles.
Yeah, everybody was just like, like Natty Snaps wouldn't even take the mic from me, and that guy is also a legend. But he's like, nah, man, I'm not taking the mic from you right now. You keep going. And I kept walking around because we had that whole center area.
Yeah, the little. The dance floor was like a weird drop down.
Yeah, it was dropped down. Yeah, like the old 60s living rooms and stuff. But I would have to say, above and beyond any other performance, that was probably where I was like, this is what I'm finna do from now on. And then we started writing more after that and recording and stuff, and you helped me a lot with that, because again, usually it was just strictly freestyle for me, and like recording on old cassette tapes and stuff, it was a different time back in the 90s, man.
Back then, when we were getting into battle rap, there was beefs. So there was always you constantly had to have that, because it was pushing your music almost. Like, that was right when Snack and SDK and Battle Axe had their
all that
going on, right? So that was what was popular. And nowadays, I find, because we've not only the artists have aged, we've matured, but this younger generation doesn't party, and they're not very going out and fighting and doing all the stuff that we did as kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're a lot more loving, and I think that's where the whole shift has come.
And I agree with that, because but back east though too, before I ever came out here, when we were at Priorities and we were ciphering, we could get into battles and still be cool with it. I found that when I took this adventure into this BVB realm and this battle thing that I spent 10 years doing, it changed my course of writing though. So I almost found like I had writer's block for the last even 5-6 years. It's been a struggle to even write battle raps, because it changed the structure for me, and it wasn't just spreading that almost because I've always wanted to spread a positive vibe. Tell people they're beautiful. Tell your boys you love them. Tell everyone they're great. When you're battling, you'd be like, you're fat. And just whatever. It's just not the same, and it's not spreading positivity unless you're doing compliment battles. And
people don't really watch those. They don't enjoy them as much.
Yeah, it's just not as entertaining as someone being completely and utterly disgracefully rude.
Yeah.
And also the format of writing for battles is different, because there's no music, there's no guidance, and no structure to it, except for those, minute and a half or 2 minute rounds, which are 4 bars up until 16 bars, or depending on how fast you're going, of course, too. But it made me not want to work on music almost, because it's different to try and figure out your performance when there's no beat and there's that crowd, right?
Creating battle raps, because you've been doing it for 10 years plus, but you've been in the league with BVB for 10 years, which means how many battles a year do you usually do?
I can't count it like that. There was a lot more at the start. It's been progressively slowing down for me.
Yeah.
They still have their events, and they're still, doing their thing with a lot of good talent. I think I have 11 under my belt, and a beatbox battle being one of them that I got the W for too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember coming to one and seeing what you guys had created, and this was after I had dropped out of hip hop for years.
Yeah.
And coming and seeing it. And it was really cool to see that Kyle had created.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyle for doing that, because as it transitioned over to the new owners who I haven't had a chance to meet yet, but they've turned it into something it's not the same, but it's not different. It's not bad. It's like, it's a different but good.
Yeah,
and it's kind of just, I think the battle rap in general has, in Canada at least, has faded out.
I'm glad that Gunner, Aaron.
Yes, thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm glad that he has made a little transition actually, because he's doing like, you know, hip hop nights and like actual performances as well as battles, and it because for some people it's hard to just stand there and listen to someone with no music, just, you know, going rambling, or even if it's super talented people, it's still for someone who is there to have a good time and listen to music and drink, and like, and that's why a lot of battles have like, keep it down on the back, because they're drinking and they want that excitement. Aaron has introduced like live performances too. They do open mic nights. Shout out Gunner. He's definitely made a different transition, and they're reaching out and they're having like group meetings and stuff like that.
I was just going to mention that they're having these hip hop group meetings that I've really enjoyed seeing online.
Yeah, me too.
It's kind of cool to see that they're trying to bring back that community.
The positivity in the community too, though. Whether or not you're going to battle someone and be a complete
You're friends at the end of the day.
You're still friends at the end of the day. The networking they're doing is really, to me, it's inspirational on that aspect too. Just for me, battling wasn't my, even though it's been 10 years that I've been on and off with it, in between being away for 30 and 50 days at a time working, which makes it very difficult. You miss every other show. I've been ducked so many times too. Like I've had like 5 people had set battles, and then all of a sudden, so and so can't show up. I'm not going to name names. So, you know, such and such can't show up for this reason and that reason, and I need to get back into music because I'm always going to show up. Right? Like,
I think I did 2 battles, and they weren't with BVB, but just mentally trying to like put myself into a place where it was like I'm trying to like write lines that are like degrading somebody to the utmost of their core. Like at first it seemed really exciting. And then after the second one, I was just like, the amount of effort it takes me to sit and write this, to do the research on the person, to do the, you know what I mean? To like try and find all the things that you need. It's just like, I could have wrote an album.
Right.
That's how I felt. So I was like, I always steered clear of it because it was just like, for me, even when I was in my negative realm and writing negative songs that were like hard body,
dark,
you know what I mean? But it wasn't. Just like battle rap is, I love watching it, but I can't do it.
It's freaking exhausting.
It is. It's mentally hard.
It's absolutely exhausting.
Like then you think of like the KOTD champions, and like the amount of years that they put in. Like still to this day, one of my favorite battles, and it's like it's like fist fights but with words. And it's Pat Stay, rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P.
And Hallhan. And they were best friends. Like backstory is they're best friends for forever. Like you grew up with these two.
Yeah, well,
around them at least, right?
Around them for sure. Pat Stay again, R.I.P. Back in the Elements League. I had just moved to New Brunswick at that point, so I wasn't back far east like Nova Scotia for it. But watching them grow and like young cats like Miracle, who is also like just killing everything. He's coming out with a new album right now. Him and Christ Sampson did work together as well. That was a pretty good like rock cover / hip hop album that was absolutely amazing. Pat Stay was like, he just had it right from the start. Like sometimes even slightly as corny as some of it might have been, they were babies, bro. Like even I was young then, but to see that growth and the effort that he put in was it was shocking and amazing at the same time, because he had it right from day one. Hip hop is like,
it's a beautiful thing.
It's the only thing that has made me look at my smile, bro. Like hip hop is like memories, especially memories that are foggy and so long ago. It's just, to me, it's just great. It's just good. Hip hop changed my life 100%. Music in general, but hip hop mostly. so much for the better, and it's the only thing that has pulled me out of all my dark spots too. That's something else I have to say. It has pulled me out of the deepest, darkest hole anything, right? It's always pulled me back.
One of the coolest things I feel with being a musician and artist, and especially playing like when we are on stage together, is like, for example, on Saturday at the show. The one thing I love about performing versus battle rap, and the one thing I don't think I'll ever be able to give up until my body physically can't do it, is performing.
Yeah.
Because that, like, when you can hear the crowd singing your lyrics back with you, and you're just looking at one person in the crowd, like your friend, he was filming us, and I made eye contact with his camera, and that moment his physical body, because he was watching the camera, he's like, oh, he's watching me, and he gets like, that's all it takes on stage to make somebody happy. And like, who knows what that person's going through? And if you can change that you could save that entire person just by giving them 2 seconds of eye contact on stage. And that to me has always been like I get goosebumps thinking like, that's the power we have through music.
Yes.
And the world can change so quickly with just one person's concept of their mind. But like, unity is a very hard thing to create.
It was amazing how many people that I've seen in the crowd before that I had no idea that would even know those songs, because we're performing songs right now, like besides your
new stuff.
Your new stuff.
It's 11 years old.
It's 11 years old, bud. And to see, and there was people singing those words, and I was like,
it's after the first it's after the first time we play the first hook, they can hear it, and it's because it's like, and that's the thing, right? That vibe is like, it's that connection, because we've performed it many times and the people aren't singing it, but it was the energy in the room.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really, like, if you're giving it out, and I think it's the events, like, the way events are structured too is one thing where, like, is a very key thing. It's cool to have a ton of great artists on a bill, but if you're setting up the bill in a way that it's, like, not musically structured.
Yeah.
This is where a lot of promoters, I feel, go wrong, is they just, like, book a bunch of dope artists and like, oh, but you got to structure it. Like, you got to, like, doors open at a certain time, and you got to have the soft band starting or the DJ going, and it's like, you got to, like, build into the night. You don't just start, like, slamming shots right when you get there. You build up to that. You order dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You got to do some stuff. You can't just, like, nail it in the coffin right away.
Here it is.
So I think this last weekend has really made me realize that I need to take a step back from being a promoter in the metal scene.
Yeah.
And the punk scene, mainly because it has no negative aspect, but being so, like, saturated and just, like, all it is blast beats and, like, hardcore sounds in my face. Like, coming back to the hip hop after, like, 11 years, it's a total different energy. Like, I love the metal scene because the love the metal community has for each other, but it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
And, like, I've always battled this, like I've been rapping since I was 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But it was always behind closed doors until I was, like, 20. And it's like, I've always been ashamed of what I do.
Yeah.
So it's always been a kind of a back burner, and I've always been in bands. And I've realized, like, the older I get, that's what I was always meant to do, was probably just rap.
Yeah.
And not focus. Like, it's great that I learned all the instruments, but that was to produce beats.
Yeah.
For hip hop.
And your music speaks for itself anyways, whether it's metal, punk, hip hop, even like our more acoustic hip hop stuff that we have. I see the joy when you're doing it, right?
And
like,
that's the thing, is with what we write, I can completely just let loose and do whatever I want. There's no limit to, like, oh, I can play acoustic and we're gonna rap over top of it, and people are gonna think that's weird. Oh well. And that's kind of like, there's no creative limit with our hip hop versus where, like, I'm structuring when I'm writing hip hop or metal. It's like, you have to write the hardest, the heaviest breakdowns. And to try and compete with some of my friends' bands that are out there now, bro, it's like, they're so skilled and I'm not at their level of playing.
Well, I think you probably are, and that comes into our own critical thoughts of ourselves. Yeah. Because I could always say, like, I've probably written and forgotten more stuff than a lot of people have ever rapped in their life too, right? And I'm so critical that I've literally balled up bar after bar after bar on pages and thrown it in the trash and been like, but there was so much of it that was good. Well, here I am just...
Have you ever ghost wrote?
Yes, I'm not gonna name names again, but yes, I have. It's not the same because you have to, like, when doing that, you have to kind of like try to feel how they're feeling.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you have to put yourself as them to write it?
Yeah, and usually I would try to do that, and that's why I'm not into it. I just, and especially where I'm at right now, all I want to do is like, I'm gonna grind, or I'm gonna have a solo LP or a full album. Like, that's all I'm doing right now, is I'm focusing. I don't work in camp anymore. I'm here. All I want to do is make music that I'm gonna be able to look at and.
It's all good.
I'm gonna look at and just be proud of, instead of being that critical guy.
Yeah.
Because I always criticize like my battles, and 3 days before the battle, I'm like, gonna change this. Oh, I can't be that rude. Oh, I had one battle with a female who was very talented, and if I hadn't have felt bad about what I was gonna say and choke as bad as I did, because I did. And I'm not ashamed.
That's so funny.
I went through a lot that day. There's a lot of excuses that I won't even talk about.
No, totally understandable.
But it was mostly because I was like, I can't be that rude to her, because especially women, I always build women up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a...
You're not misogynistic.
Yeah. Everyone's beautiful, every shape, every size, every. So some of the things I was gonna say about so and so.
Just wasn't you or true.
I had a serious meltdown in my own head about it.
Yeah.
Even though it was fire, it was like the crowd would have like lost their whole mind.
And that's the hard thing, is being a battle rapper, right?
Yeah. Whereas if it's a song, you don't care, because there's not that reaction like on the spot at the time. You're in the studio.
All eyes on me, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And and all her friends being there, being like, oh, what a dick, like those things. Like, and I shouldn't have thought about that, because and all the best battle rappers don't think about that.
Nope. If you were to change anything about the music industry, or at least the hip hop industry, what would it be?
More positive and focused on spreading that energy. Shoot, I don't know, man. I just think the community needs to be tighter. There shouldn't be this back and forth unless it's, like you brought up, Mad Child and Snack. I mean,
they're friends today still.
Honestly, right? like, why was that just for views? Right?
Some days I question it.
And they're both rather similar, in my opinion. Take it or leave it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
both very skilled at what they do.
both. 100%, 100% they are.
I think it was because they were both from Vancouver, and trying to create a movement in a demographic that is very small. Vancouver's a big area, but the hip hop community is very tight knit.
And they both have such huge followings.
And that was the thing, is like, how can you compete with your friend when you're both building up this following, and inevitably your fan bases clash, and that's what caused it.
I think so too.
I don't think it ever had to deal with them really until the moment that like one of them said something. And
one of them might have been out of pocket, and then the other was like, oh hell no.
That's instantly how it happens, and the thing happens in metal too. Surprisingly, I've realized, being in the metal industry, like, there's a lot of beef that happens in any music industry, and it's just the things that people don't realize, just like any job.
Yeah.
Or industry, right?
Right?
Sports.
In a restaurant, night and day, sports, there's this team and that team rivalry. Like,
yep, restaurants, day staff, night staff.
Someone who likes Calgary Flames doesn't like the Oilers. Oh,
So
I don't like you. Like, it's and back to the question that you had. I think in music we need to get away from that petty stuff. The petty stuff is what doesn't matter, because in the end, we're all trying to, make the world better and get our own creative sides out. And I don't hate someone if they have a different opinion than me.
No.
I want to learn their opinion and see why they feel that way. And I still don't have to agree with it, but I'm not going to hate that person because of it. I've had racist friends where I'm like, I don't agree with you, bro. Like, I think you're wrong. And
well, that also being from ethnicity too, right?
Yeah.
Not many people realize that when they look at you, that you have ethnicity in your blood too.
There's a slight ethnicity there,
right? They look at you and they're like, oh, white boy. It's like, nah, he wasn't.
Yeah. And even just growing up, where there's not my buddy Mick D, who is also a phenomenal rapper from the East Coast. he is literally mulatto, like half black, and he has baby blue eyes, freckles, white as you can ever be.
Gorgeous. That's awesome.
And no one knows. So like, we'll go around people who think that it's okay to say certain words that we don't tolerate, and then they're like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
Why did I get punched out? Because you done said the wrong word, bro. Like you don't know who you're really around.
Yeah. Especially coming from time, placement, and everything where you're from. It
especially
makes sense.
back east, man. Like it's a very mixed race community.
It's a different culture in the East.
Completely
I don't
different.
think, and that's like, I don't think unless you've traveled to the East, you realize it.
Yeah.
But the East Coast, they have that, they're hard because they have to be.
Yeah.
It's not because they're choosing to act like that. They're bred that way.
Yeah, it's different.
That's why there's a huge respect value that comes with you guys as well. Like, you show respect and you get respect.
Yeah.
As where West Coast, no one shows each other respect. It's just kind of like you got to earn it instantly, but you never give it.
Especially when I first came out here, it was hard, man. It's so cliquey. It's so.
It still is. It's very cliquey still.
And maybe I've adapted a different attitude as well.
Yeah.
Because before I'd be like, you don't say certain words or I'm going to grab you. And
that's also being young mentality.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I think growing up.
And now I'm like, whatever.
Not my time. Not my energy. Yeah.
Having five kids too, you're like, you get tolerant, like you tolerate everything now, right? Like it's like, oh man, it's just. But in the East Coast, it was different. You can't say certain words without getting in a scuff, some scraps about it, and you can't. There's just no. And again, it's just maybe the young mentality, and like, oh, some of us think we're gangsters when we're not, and like, you know.
I think that's what really ruined. Because hip hop didn't start with being gangster.
No, exactly. It was a positive message.
It was a huge positive movement, and then all of a sudden, the '90s gangster movement ruined everything. If you were to give any advice to an aspiring artist, somebody who wants to get into hip hop, what do you think their first step should be?
Be true to yourself. Just be you. Don't let all the no's make you stop. Don't let all the no's, any negative feedback, just grow from it. You gotta be you. I've lost battles, I won battles, and still got nowhere in particular. You know what I mean? That doesn't bother me. I'm still who I am, and I still love it. And you know what? Tomorrow or end of September, we could do a show where someone sees us and goes, "That's what we need." It's just all about timing. So my advice would honestly be, just don't stop. Just don't stop. Never give up. Never give up. You gotta grind. You gotta keep pushing, right? Yeah. That's what my advice would be. What would your advice be to any up-and-comer?
Oh God, I've never been actually asked that question. It wouldn't be for up and coming hip hop artists. It'd be for their friends.
Yeah.
If your friend sucks, let them know.
Yeah.
If they're doing terrible, don't let them go on a stage.
Stop
terribly.
eating.
Stop them. Let them know they need some more practice.
Yeah.
Be honest with your friends about their music, because you can't fill them up in their head like, this is so good, and then they step on stage and they're absolute trash. That's gonna kill your friend worse than being honest with him.
Good answer.
Letting him go into the lion's den without any preparation.
Having people turn around and go to the bar instead.
Exactly. Yeah. Just like tell your friends if they're bad. Yeah. Just tell them they're bad. Be honest with them. Cause
I remember our first show after the 11 years or whatever. I was sick as a dog. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
My voice was cracking, and when I got off stage, I had 4 people approach me, and they're all like, "Man, good show," and they didn't notice. Like, my voice was cracking. I ran out of breath. I couldn't even get through, especially with the faster one. Anyway, most people in the audience, unless they know your songs off by heart, they don't know you're buggering up, man.
Yeah, and if they know your songs off by heart, you're probably not playing on a tiny place.
Right, exactly. So they don't know you're buggering up. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going, right? Don't let it stop you.
Yeah. Well, Joel, I want to thank you for having me.
Rob, I
and doing
appreciate
this
you.
conversation. I love getting to sit down and to dive into your story. Has been one I've known it for a long time, but I think that like at this point, you're one of the longest running hip hop artists out of the Okanagan. Still.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of the artists that we worked with originally are still in town, so it's nice to see that you're still keeping the Okanagan scene alive, whether it's battle rap or just representing the scene.
And it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better. More progressive movement, more learning, more effort. That's my goal. And thank you for coming out.
I appreciate
it's a pleasure.
it.
It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you. And we'll catch you guys next time.